this. We are live currently here on we're on all our platforms, so that's not going to be nothing new. We're going to be here for all our platforms, so we are on all different platforms. If you want to support, please make sure to check out on the other platforms because this platform sometimes can be a bit that, and by that I mean TikTok. Um, I know lately people have been going through the process of going through TikTok and noticing that either your videos are being stuck or you're watching a video and your video is like pausing halfway, your internet is working fine or it stops. I've recently been seeing also that there's a bunch of videos that are just blacked out. So you can't see who the creator is, you can't see the video, you don't see anything, all you see is a black screen. So I don't know if that's something that has been happening a lot. I have been seeing that a bunch of content creators have been stating that they have been dealing with that at the faction where it's just like you are recording or you are viewing on TikTok and it is just a complete black screen. So it's not even like you can't even see anything. So that's an interesting part to it. So I don't know exactly what's going on with TikTok in those regards, but it's definitely happening where people are not able to basically it's not showing up for them basically, I guess is the best way of saying it. So you're saying basically like a blank screen is populating for some of these people. So it's interesting because it's just like either you're getting a full black screen where you can't see any of the buttons or the videos are pausing. So I don't know exactly what that is. What's up, Vegas? So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. That's a new occurrence now with TikTok. I'm not really sure what's causing that. What's up, Dave? Appreciate the heart. I was like, I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, with TikTok doing that. It's interesting. But like I said, we are on other platforms. In case I magically disappear, y'all already know the reasons for that. I am streaming on other platforms also. So this first year feels like four already. What first year? Bro, this is just a continuation. There's no gonna be different. It's not gonna be any different. It's a continuation of the year. That's all that's going on right now. There's no really there's no fixing to any of this. It was just like he said 1 year. It was like it's felt more than 1 year dealing with all this stuff. I was like the amount of back and forth that we've dealt with so far, um, the amount of back and forth that we've had so far throughout this year has already done enough that it's just like it feels longer than just a year. I was like, we've gone through a lot. I've been banned more this year, Dave, than I've been banned the whole time I think I've been on TikTok. And we're only in March. And I think I've been banned more within this 3 months than I have the whole last year. And last year I was reckless. Last year I was calling out MAGA even more than I've been doing so this year. This year I haven't even been even worried about calling out MAGA because it's just like it gets to the point where it's just like there's really no boundary or limit to how much you call them out. We've seen how much that does. It was just like you just seen how that worked for oh, I don't care to be one of the chosen ones. I'm gonna continue to be the way I am no matter what. That's what makes me who I am, and that's why I talk the way I do. Um, but that's one of the main things going on right now is it's MAGA and the Republicans are being very hypocritical of what's going on. And one of the bigger things that's going on with that is that most of MAGA doesn't want to acknowledge it. And then the thing is they don't like the criticism, which I think is one of the bigger things with MAGA and Republicans right now. They don't like hearing the criticism of what they're doing wrong. They're good at trying to portray and tell other groups that they are doing something wrong or something's wrong with them or they are not doing something that is beneficial for people. That is what MAGA likes to do and Republicans like to do. They like to throw that in front of everybody else. But when it comes to criticizing them, they don't like to hear it. They don't like being a part of it. They don't want to acknowledge that they are wrong. Look at the state of Kansas, for instance. Look at the state of Kansas. The state of Kansas is the best example of how hypocritical Republicans and MAGA can be. The Congress in Kansas just passed the observation of Charlie Kirk Free Speech Day on October 14th. They just passed that as a law for the state of Kansas. At the same time, they are currently trying to stop kids from protesting ICE and making it that there will be punishment for that or budget restrictions from their school if they allow such a thing. So literally you passed a law saying that people can have free speech because of Charlie Kirk, but then when people are exercising their First Amendment right, all of a sudden they can't do that. So how is it that you can tell me that you want to pass an observation day for Charlie Kirk Free Speech Day, but then when people are trying to exercise their First Amendment right by speaking and protesting against something that they don't like, you are trying to criminalize it and you are trying to get them in trouble or you are trying to restrict them from doing so. So please tell me how that makes any sort of sense when it comes to Republicans. Republicans are the first that want to say they want less government. They don't want the government to be involved. They don't want the government to be a part of anything. They want less government. But everything that they try to pass and everything that they try to push, Republicans basically make it so that it is more government, more oversight, more seeing stuff. Unless it benefits them, because if it doesn't benefit them, it's a different case, right? In the case of the whole veteran situation, right? So you have the whole veteran situation, right? You currently had this administration and Secretary Doug Collins try to pass a change into our Code of Federal Regulations, which is the standard and the regulation that designates the disability percentage that you get for the disability you claimed. So now you have that, right? Most most civilians, most people don't know what the Major Richard Starr Act is. So the Major Richard Starr Act is a bill that was proposed last year by Democrats, basically stating that any veteran would be able to receive their medical retirement payment and also their disability payment at the same time together. So basically, right now, if a service member were to serve, they would not be able to receive their medical retirement and their disability retirement. So literally, the percentage of what they receive in disability would be offset by that. So whatever they got from their retirement, that would be offset by what the disability is. So you wouldn't get the full amount. You would get that amount minus whatever the percentages you currently have. Republicans again yesterday decided to vote against this. Mind you, the same Republican Party that decided that we needed to go to war with Iran because Iran was an imminent threat. The same one that the veterans are going to be made out of this, the same ones that are going to, fight these wars and be a part of these wars where we've already lost six personnel. We've already lost six personnel in this conflict. This conflict isn't over. This conflict is just getting started. And then the thing is then you don't want to give people the benefits that they earned through military service. It was like the PACT Act. When you look at the PACT Act, most veterans and a lot of Republicans and a lot of MAGA veterans were the ones that benefited from the PACT Act. They received a lot of compensation because of the injuries that they had, and a lot of them had cancers that were developed through their time in service. So, through their time in service, they developed cancer because they were either around Agent Orange, or they were near burn pits, or they served in an area where it was something that caused cancer or caused a different issue, right? Republicans were the ones that wanted to block the PACT Act. So I'm not entirely sure how it is that Republicans want to say that they want to push forward and they want to help advance and they want to help veterans. What's up, Brid? They were just like, it's always the case that they want to help and they want to assist veterans, but then when it's time for them to actually show how they want to help veterans, when it's time to actually vote to help veterans, they're always the first ones to deny and block any legislation that would end up benefiting veterans. So, how is it that you can be a Republican, MAGA, and be so patriotic, but then at the same time always vote against the interest of veterans? You had the PACT Act, which added more assistance and added more programs for veterans. And what did you do? You decided that cutting funding for the VA was the way to go. You decided to publicize that veterans make too much money as is right now. So it's crazy to me to see where Republicans and veterans, Republican veterans even more, which is the more weirder part, is just like it is the fact that you see that these people can't even assist veterans. They're not assisting veterans in any case. They're not giving veterans any benefits. They're removing benefits. They're trying to cut money from there. But we just spent how many billions of dollars over the weekend? How much money did we just spend over this past weekend? But there's no money to take care of the people that you're sending to do all of this? I'm kind of confused, MAGA. I was like, I don't seem to understand. Because then the thing is you still have a bunch of content creators that are MAGA. You have content creators that are Republican. You have content creators that are veterans and Republican and MAGA. But you seem to be awfully quiet about all these situations. You can't keep pushing the same rhetoric of, oh, Republicans are the ones that are doing the most for veterans, right? You can't seem to keep pushing that agenda, can you? When all you're doing is starting another war, which was unnecessary. More lives lost, more veterans that are going to have issues. I'm not sure right now if the people that those 6 service members that passed, I'm not sure if they have families. But you just destroyed families just because of that. They probably may or may not have an immediate family, but they certainly did have a family because they came from somewhere. They came from a family. And now you just took those service members away because you decided to start a war that wasn't needed to be started. That's only the six. They yes, correct, Vegas, and that's the thing. That's one of the main things also that most people don't understand. With this administration right now, you can't believe a fucking thing coming out of their mouths. You just can't. You can't believe a motherfucking thing coming out of these people's mouths. Because these are the same ones that were just going to shortchange veterans just now. So, as a veteran, that's very disappointing. It's very difficult to believe an administration that tells you so many things and then lies about it. Because it's lies. It's not even fibbing. It's just straight up lies. Every single every single Republican, MAGA. Put it like this. What I find to be most interesting about this situation is most of these dumb fucks, and I do say dumb fucks, didn't even know that Puerto Rico was part of the United States. Most of them didn't even know Bad Bunny was an American citizen. Now you know Iran. Now all of a sudden you know everything about the Middle East. Now you a Middle East expert. But you couldn't even tell me what the fuck a fucking Puerto Rican was. You couldn't tell me what a Puerto Rican person was. You didn't even know they were American citizens, but now all of a sudden you know what's going on in Iran. You know the whole thing, right? It's just interesting to me how Republicans try to be so naive and try to be so ignorant about everything when they don't know absolutely nothing. All they do is listen to what they're being told. I was just like, some of the weakest people you can ever find in this country are those that just listen to what they're being told to do and don't think for themselves. Plain and simple. It's always the same ones that say, oh, this is what happened. This is what we believe. This is what we do. And it's just like, it's crazy to me. I heard the same thing about Iraq. We freed the people, but they fought us for 20 years. We freed Afghanistan. They fought us for 20 years. I don't know if that's actual freedom if we're still fighting them, because if we freed people, why would they be fighting us? If we actually freed these people, why would they be fighting us? 20-year war? We were there for how long fighting these people? Because we supposedly freed them. We supposedly gave them what they wanted. We supposedly, imagine the fact that you were planning to bring in a new regime, right? You were bringing in a new regime, but then the people that you wanted to have the regime, you bombed them also. So how are you liberating people if the people that you thought was going to be put in place to liberate them, you killed them also? I'm awfully confused by that. Most of the people that want to say we are freeing a country are people that never served this country. Good morning, Cobra. I was like, most of the people here never served this country. And then the worst part about it is some of these people actually did serve our country. Some of these people did deploy. Some of these people did go overseas. And you saw that not everybody liked us. Some of them were happy, yes. And some of them were upset. I could say the same thing about the United States right now. Some people are happy about this. Most aren't. Most people understand that when a war starts, there's going to be casualties. But it's never the people that want the war that have the casualties. It's the people that get sent by somebody that decided to dodge the draft. So it's always interesting to always hear the concept of just like, oh, we freed the Iranian people. If we freed the Iranian people wouldn't be bombing the rest of the fucking Middle East now, would they? It's just like it's a failed notion with this administration because the thing is they have to keep up the facade. They have to keep the facade of basically trying to enable people to believe in them. They have to continue that because the thing is they're not being successful at what they're doing. You can't say anything about being successful. You notice how nobody's talking about gas prices? Ain't nobody say shit about gas prices yet, huh? That's crazy, isn't it? You notice how MAGA hasn't said anything about gas? Anything about gas. What's up, JC? It was like ain't nobody say anything about gas right now. Gas prices, right? Gas prices. They ain't $1.98 no more, are they? Who who got them low gas prices now? Let's hear the statement about I'ma highlight this. I'ma highlight this. He said shit. 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 You know what I'm saying? Like, just had to put in gas prices. Prices is going up. Nobody's talking about that though, because then that what you gonna blame this one on Biden too? Obama? Who? Oh, it's just like these people have no idea what they're doing. And then it was also confirmed, because it was on the news, that Oman, the country of Oman, was actually negotiating the treaty and a peace deal between these people. Iran was going to give up all of their nuclear stuff in the deal. Oh, you could have left them, Vegas. I don't care. There's gonna be a lot of users that are gonna say MAGA has nothing to do with the oil prices. MAGA has nothing to do with this. But it's funny. MAGA MAGA is going to say that they had nothing to do with the oil prices, but then at the same time, oh yeah, that's right, JC. But the Dow, oh, it was at 50,000. So now that the Dow isn't at 50,000, maybe I think the sirens is going off in my city. You hear that too, right? I thought it was my tinnitus going crazy. What's today? Yep, that's the sirens. That's the sirens. I don't think we got inclement weather coming, but it is Kansas, so you never know what the fuck is gonna happen here. So it is. But that's the thing, JC. At this point, these people can come up with anything, and most of these people still believe it. That's the thing. Like that's the crazy. They usually do the alarms. They usually test out the alarms the first week of the month. Every month they test out the alarm, so that's what that was. It is kind of shitty weather, and it's supposed to be like thunderstorms and stuff like that. So tomorrow may be an issue. We'll see. We don't know. We'll see how that goes. But that's the thing. You're right. You can't make this stuff up anymore. This stuff isn't new anymore. Everything that has been used, they've used to the point where it's been unsuccessful. MAGA has said, oh, gas prices were down because of them. But then somehow gas prices don't go up because of them also. So which one is it? You can't tell me that you only have the power to bring the prices down, but you don't have the power to bring them up. That doesn't add up. Does it? Does that add up to anybody? I'm still not sure because the thing is we have started a conflict in the Middle East. Then you got it's always these people that come with these statements. Please explain why Dems haven't fixed the problems of America. You've been under Republican leadership for a whole fucking year. It's time for you to jump off the Democrats' nuts and start hanging off of your Republican nuts and ask them why they haven't done shit. The Democrats don't see anything. Democrats ain't in control of anything. You've been in charge for a whole year. And all you've been trying to do is remove programs. Every program that a Democrat has tried to have in place, Republicans want to remove. You want to remove the Department of Education, even though Republican states have worse education rates than Democrats do. But you want to remove it because Republicans are telling you so. Property taxes are going up. Let me guess, you are in a red Republican state. So Republicans are raising your tax prices and raising all your stuff. Yes. Yet the Democrats are the ones to blame. You want to take out special education funding because you don't think it's needed. Who puts that and who proposes that? Republicans do. So when money goes away from your school to a private school, you want to blame Democrats again. You've already seen the voucher system, how it has been unsuccessful in every Republican state that has tried to push it through. You've had that happen in Texas where they pushed that through. You've had that happen in Arizona where they pushed that through. And what has happened? They have had worse capabilities and their education system has dropped even more. So stop with this rhetoric of it being Democrats. It's your lack of accountability. It's your lack of fucking intelligence. It's your lack of being able to actually blame the people that you voted for. Because it's way easier for you to blame somebody else. Way easier for you to blame somebody else than blame yourself for your inability to be adequate, for your inability to lead, for your inability to actually be the better fucking politicians here. Because at the same time, every single time that there is a program that will benefit somebody in this country, it comes from the Democrats. And who blocks it? The Republicans. Plain and simple. Look how much hatred y'all had towards Zohran Mamdani, and within 8 days, he already established a child care for kids newborn to 2 years old. Within 8 days of his administration, he already had that in. Your president, Donald Trump, has been in office for more than a year now. For more than a year now. Which executive order exactly can you quote me and tell me he's actually used to better the healthcare system? And the thing is, man, I was just like, some of y'all hillbillies need to go to fucking school. I'm sorry. The reason why you're so stuck on stupid is because you're probably in a red state that has some of the lowest education. You have some of the lowest education for a reason, because they want to keep you stupid. They want you to keep on believing that they're doing what's best for you. Remember the Don't Tread on Me group, which you're a part of? So now they want to institute that you can take away weapons from marijuana users. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? I thought there was no infringing on the Second Amendment. The Don't Tread on Me group became the Bend Me Over group in a matter of minutes. Like, are you serious right now? Are you serious right now? Tell me what the GOP has done in this past year that has benefited you, besides raising the price on everything. Anybody got anything from MAGA? Please tell me one of the most beneficial bills that they have passed, besides Charlie Kirk Observation Day. Please tell me what's benefited this country in the past year. Anything? Because right now, everything that has happened has been under a Republican administration. Everything that's happened through the Department of Justice. Pam Bondi. What has that benefited? Anything that has happened with the Agriculture Department. What has that benefited? Anything through the Department of Education. What has that benefited? Anything through the Department of Labor. What has that benefited? It was just like Republicans can't give no proof to anything that has happened over the past year. You've had a whole year. The excuse was, oh, he just came in the office. He just got here. He just started. He just got it. It was just like, you've had that same talking point for the past year. We've passed a year now. We on year 2. And you still can't tell me something that benefited you as an American. Besides higher prices on everything. What has benefited you? What executive order has been pushed to make anything better? How has anything become more affordable? Oh, that's funny. Imagine complaining, how's it affordable when I can't get it? But it was the Republicans that wanted to put more restrictions on you getting those subsidies. Imagine being that fucking stupid. Imagine being that dumb that you don't understand why you can't get the fucking subsidies because the Republicans made it tougher for people to get it. Imagine being that inept that you're complaining about something you can't get because the people you voted for made it so that you couldn't get it. you gotta you gotta be that fucking stupid. Yes, Obama put out the Affordable Care Act, which was meant for everyone to receive. But what happened? We still have 11 states that haven't accepted it because they didn't want to push it to their people. And what do you know? All of those are Republican states. Who was it that sued because of the ACA? Oh, that was Texas also. That made it so you wouldn't get it. So imagine the fact that you are bitching and complaining about something you voted for. You voted to have this happen to you. And now that it's happening to you, I'm 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 gonna complain the same way I'm gonna complain, but I'm gonna keep voting for the same people that tell me it's the other guy, but they've been in charge of me the whole time. It's the same way that a lot of y'all blame immigrants for taking your jobs instead of blaming your boss for you not getting paid enough. You ever thought of that? You didn't think about that part, did you? You complaining about the immigrant supposedly taking your money, but it's your boss that pays you. The immigrant don't pay you. You complaining about the person that asked for the money they wanted, but here you are not getting the money. See, hold up. You see how quickly their replies change? This is the statement this man makes. Y'all just keep being oppressed, and I don't need the ACA or the fucking government. Weren't you just complaining about the fact that you couldn't get the ACA, but now all of a sudden you didn't need it? So what the fuck were you complaining about? It's easy to just have all MAGA and Republicans have to do, you just have to allow them to keep on talking so that they can contradict themselves. Because how the fuck you gonna say that you couldn't get the ACA, but then all of a sudden you didn't need it? So what the fuck are you complaining about? Imagine. Yo, it's like the standards of education with the Republican and MAGA party are minimal. Best way of putting it. They're minimal. Because you're talking and you're making statements. And it's not like these statements can't be shown. So it's just like, do we need to scroll up and pin it so that you can learn how to read your own statements? Because most of the time, when it comes to MAGA and Republicans, it's like, we can show you the footage because you made the receipts. You made the receipt. I didn't make the receipt. I wasn't the one that came in here being a dumbass. You came in here being a dumbass. And then when you got shown how dumb and stupid your statements are being portrayed and are, then all of a sudden you want to backtrack. Like you just didn't say something. That's not how it works. MAGA, I don't give a fuck about you. Let's get that clear. I don't give a fuck about you. Your own people don't give a fuck about you. You're the same detriment to your own people. You are detrimental to yourself. If you live in a Republican state that has been ran and operated by Republicans for the past 3 administrations, you are a dumb Republican. Your Republicans has fucked up your state. Has nothing to do with Joe Biden. Has nothing to do with Barack Obama. Had nothing to do with Kamala Harris. Had nothing to do with Jasmine Crockett or anybody that you want to fucking bring up and make a bullshit ass fucking accusation about. It's just like, oh, oh, look, it's a police officer. It's always the ones that is like, hey man, you didn't amount to nothing, so you had to become a cop because that's the only way you would be able to bully people because everybody bullied you. Oh, no. Well, did that hit a nerve? Yeah. Yeah, look at his name. Look at his name, Vegas. It's always the people here that was just like, we don't care about you because you've been screwing yourself over. People in democratic cities have the resources that they need. And you know what? They pay for it. And unfortunately, those same people are the ones that pay for your Republican inadequacies. Because when your state can't fucking do anything right, what do? You get federal funding. For a group of people, for a group of people that don't know that their own fucking representatives are screwing them over, you deserve everything you have coming towards you. It's just like you complain about immigrants, yet you've never been around them, but you like their food. You've never worked with them. You lost your job to somebody that couldn't speak English. That says a lot about you, not the immigrant. It says a lot about you. You lost your job to a non-English speaking person in an English country. God damn. Brandon, what state are you from, Brandon? What state you from? Watch him name a Democratic state. PA. Pennsylvania, right? Who has run Pennsylvania for the past fucking 10 years? No, I'm not triggered because y'all have some of the worst fucking drivers. Who's ran Pennsylvania for the past 10 years? Republicans. So your dumbass is mad at people that had nothing to do with the fuck up of your state. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy, isn't it? Pennsylvania has been run by Republicans. Yet here you are bitching and complaining about Democrats? Maybe if you did a little research. Damn, that came to bite you in the ass, didn't it? That's crazy. Imagine making a statement that, oh, true Dems thinking that they have the facts and can't research a little, but then you're from Pennsylvania, which has been run by Republicans, but you couldn't even do your own fucking research to see the state you were from, who's running and who's running from the ground. Who are the Republicans? I don't know. That's your state. You acting like Pennsylvania's a Democratic state. Who voted for who they vote for this past election? Oh, Trump, right? Damn. You couldn't even research that? Don't nobody give a fuck about red states. We already said that. What? It's always Republicans that is worried about something going on in another state. Hey, bro, because you couldn't make it to fucking New York City and live in New York State. It's okay. Stay in your broke ass red state that don't know how to do what the fuck they doing and stop complaining, bro. It's always some person from a red state that doesn't know who the people are in their state that has a problem with a blue state. Oh my God, New York is funding all these people. Yes, because New York can fund them and then some. Why do you think your state doesn't do that? It's not because they don't want to, it's because they can't afford to. There's a difference. There's a difference in not wanting to do something and a difference between not having the money for it. Pennsylvania ain't raking in the money. The only thing you got is what? The Steelers? Oh my God, PA was blue in 2020. It's 2026, you dumb fuck. What's up, Lizette? Like it's 2026. And you want to talk about 2020? Like, how dumb do you gotta be? Oh, you mean the state where they grow so many crops that. Oh, you talking about the Midwest? Because it ain't Pennsylvania. What is Pennsylvania known for? Myrrh. The fucking Russian AI bot fucking it took him back so far. It's just like I can't think of stuff. I gotta go back to let me guess, Biden. Right, it was Biden, right? The typical excuse from any Republican MAGA that doesn't know anything. Biden. My man went back to 2020. It's 2026, bro. Like Lil said the Amish food. I don't even know. They got a lot of Amish people, don't they? They do have a lot of Amish people. Bro had to go back to fucking 2020. Why? Because in 2020 his state was probably doing better, and then when they went Republican, mm, damn, that kind of hurt, didn't it? Kind of hurt your thought process where you didn't even know what fucking year you were in, that you had to go back so you could try to blame Biden for some shit that you weren't able to do it. Biden struck again, man. That old man, yo, you know what it is that for an old man that was always sleeping and always senile, this man lived rent free in all their heads. So it's just like it. I wonder, is it like Biden derangement syndrome? Because the amount of times that Biden comes out your mouth is astounding. Imagine saying that you're laughing at me, but everybody's laughing at you. Imagine thinking that a person that hasn't said anything viable, that has been proven to be an idiot, I'm gonna care about if they're laughing at me. Oh man, see, I knew he couldn't count because he said all four people in my life. Yet there's 23 people in here. That's why he went to 2020. Yo, just like that's what it is. It's just like my man can't even count. That's why he got the numbers all wrong. It was just like it's okay. Now I got view bots, bro. The funniest thing about Republicans and MAGA right now is that they continue to come up with the most asinine fucking remarks to try to justify how dumb they make themselves look. It's always imagine. Oh, let me guess. Who is it? Is it George Soros? George Soros? Is that his name? He's the one that's funding me right now. He's the one that's funding me. It's like, come on, bro. Said, Lil Spartan, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to be I'm not allowed to speak my mind because MAGA gets upset. They get upset because they don't like the truth. Case in point, reason why Jasmine Crockett didn't win. That's the reason why Jasmine Crockett didn't win. People thought Jasmine Crockett was gonna win. I knew she wasn't gonna win. I knew that for a fact. It was just like I've been doing these lives for long enough that I've been roasting the shit out of MAGA for being how dumb they are. and you see what happens. Twan, don't worry. It's a Russian. But look, Twan, don't worry about these pedophile protectors. Don't worry about them. You don't gotta worry about them. The thing is that they have to say anything they can to try to like rile people up to like try to upset them. Because the thing is they know they don't have anything to stand on. They can't say they don't protect the pedophile. Because the thing is look at the fucking Epstein files. But then they'll say it's a Democratic hoax. But then it was such a Democratic hoax that it got Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein in jail. I don't know how it was a hoax if all the same details were able to get both of those people in jail. Can't tell me it's a hoax. Can't tell me the shit ain't real if that's what got these two in jail. So, meaning if it worked to get them in jail, that means it was found as evidence that was truthful. This dumbass saying is James John Fetterman, like his dumbass doesn't vote Republican every single time but calls himself a Democrat. Bro, you one of them dumb motherfuckers, huh? You really yeah. Yet Bill Clinton is a free man. Whose fault is that? You the Department of Justice now. Imagine being with the party that has Pam Bondi as the attorney general and she says the whole system would collapse. Did you not hear the report from the Washington Post where a whistleblower came out and stated that under Donald Trump's administration, the Department of Justice was told not to look into the Epstein files anymore. Because remember, in 2019, that's when Jeffrey Epstein got arrested. Meaning, if Jeffrey Epstein got arrested in 2019 and the president was Donald Trump, who had the information? Shit, at least Bill Clinton, they tried to get him out for getting him a blowjob. They at least did that. What Republican has filed for impeachment for Donald Trump? How many times? When has there been any impeachment so far? Cause y'all were quick to get old Bubba for getting a blowjob, but then all of a sudden, whoo, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files more times than you can count. Cause I know y'all can't count that high. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh well, it's not real. The same way gas prices being low was real. The same way no tax on overtime was real. The way no tax on tips was real. The same way affordability. Oh, remember that now? Oh, remember what Caroline Levitt said? I believe, I'll paraphrase real quick. You can now save almost $100 on a house payment, but everything else went up. It's like, bro, you gonna ask if I voted for Donald Trump? Have you not heard anything I just said? Oh, you just joined. Well, no, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I was like, ain't nobody gonna vote for a person that they know is a con man. But the thing is when you don't know what the hell is going on, it's easy to do that. When you grow up in a fantasy world where You didn't investigate or look into a 70-something-year-old man running for president that had never run for any political office, never held any political office. But y'all decided not to do any research. But then all of a sudden, everybody else has to do research to provide information for you, which you weren't able to do when he first decided to run. That's crazy. Where did I get the quarter zips from? This is an old company. They don't have it no more. They changed the name. It used to be one of those monthly order companies where you can order fresh stuff. No, this was actually American based. Let's say this one was American based. It was an American based veteran owned company. I support veterans. I'm a veteran, so it was a veteran company that they had it, and then all of a sudden, oh, I thought I got banned just now. They just hit me with the you haven't been saying anything, I guess, or some shit. Um, Basically, it was one of those that you basically pay a monthly fee and they send you items. They still have a bunch of those. They still have a bunch of those out there right now, but this one was a veteran owned one. They ended up selling it off to a bigger name company or some shit. But yeah, it's a subscription. So subscription. Can't even say the word. But it was just like they would send quarter zips, they would send jeans, they would send belts, they would send polos. A lot of the zips I do have, the quarter zips are from there. Um, but they stopped doing that, so I stopped getting them. And that's the thing. Look, put it like this. This is one thing I noticed with this whole content creation thing, right? If I were more politically correct, if I were more politically aligned, I do believe I'm not going to say the entire right, because there's no such thing. I cannot generalize for a whole group. You cannot generalize the right, you cannot generalize the left, because in each group you have those extremists, and then you have some that are in between, and then some that don't really know what the fuck they doing, and they say they're one side or another, but they're actually in the fucking middle. If you are speaking about MAGA, then yes, I will say it's a cult follow. Why do I say that? Because the thing is even when being lied to directly, they still believe what's coming out this man's mouth. That is a cult following, whether it's on the left side or the right side. The left side, what's up, Southwest? The left side doesn't have, what's the left side's name? What does the left side has as a name? The left side doesn't have nothing. All people call the libtards or the liberals or whatever, they don't have a specific name or group. MAGA is MAGA. You have conservatives, you have right wingers, and no, I'm not gonna say Antifa, because Antifa is anti-fascism, which I don't see how you're not anti-fascist in a fucking democratic country. First off, so that shit don't make no fucking sense to me. But most people support Antifa without knowing it. It was just like, you don't support a fascist. You don't support militarized everything. You support you having the ability to own a gun, but not having it that the people on the streets is telling you what to do with the gun. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple to see that. It's not that difficult. But MAGA has this thought process where whatever Donald Trump says, they believe. Gas is at $1.98. You had how many dumb fucks actually believing that gas was $1.98? Yet every single one of them has this fucking app, and not any one of them was able to find a fucking video or a picture of a gas station that had it at $1.98. That's what you call a cult following. Democrats have people, but there's no cult following. There's no. Who's the Democratic leader? Who's the Democratic leader of the cult? Because it's easy to say, yeah, the cult followers were the ones that put tampons and maxi pads on their ears. That's a cult following. Because there ain't no fucking way you a grown ass person with a damn pad on your ear. That's a cult following, bro. There's no. You can't deny. What? That's a cult following. Now, if you tell me that you voted for Donald Trump, but you don't agree with what he's doing, that's not being in a cult. You's an idiot because you still voted for him, but that's not being in a cult. But if you telling me that you decided to say Donald Trump is it, everything he says is right, I believe everything he says, I believe this, and that, that's being a fucking dumbass. The left doesn't have that. The left does have some dumbasses too. Don't get me wrong. The left has Chuck Schumer, Cory Booker, Jeffries. They do have some people, but that's what I was thinking I was gonna do. Soggy. I might do waves. Let my hair grow and do waves. The thing is they believe anything that is told right now, and that is the problem. That is the problem that we have in this country right now, where you have too many dumbasses believing another dumbass. You believe a person that is known to be a con man to be actually doing stuff that is going to benefit you. You believe that the people he put in place was there to actually benefit you. Yet none of these people have worked a day in their fucking lives like you have. You can't tell me that a person that hasn't worked a hard day in their lives is going to understand what the fuck is going on in your life. When's the last time Donald Trump had to work overtime to make sure his bills got paid? Oh, here's another one. Here's another one upset. Let me guess. You're from a Republican state that's mad at the fact that the Democrats have been doing nothing in your state because they're not in charge of it. What happened the last 4 years? Oh, let's see. Every single thing that Donald Trump has tried to praise and say that he made was done by Joe Biden. That's what happened the last 4 years. The CHIPS Act, which would have made it so that, RAM prices and all the stuff for AI was there. Oh, you're in a Democratic state. Oh, you're in California. Let me guess. The immigrants took your shit, right? The immigrants took your shit. What's your no? Let one badass sweeper driver. You want to come up and tell us what they've done to you? You want to tell us why the Democrats have done so much shit to you? I'm inviting you up because I want to hear this. I want to hear what you got to say. You want to come up? Pull on up. Come on, request. Let us know. Let us know what the Democrats fucked you over with so much. Please. I need to hear it. I want to hear it. Come on down. Come on down. Damn, what happened? It was just like, oh, what happened? California wasn't that bad? Damn, California must have not been that bad. Mm. Crazy. Crazy. California just got good after you told them to show up. You tell Californian people to show up to tell you why it's so bad. All of a sudden, oh yeah. Damn. What's up, Eugene? What's up, my man? That's like they got quiet. Didn't they get so quiet? Damn, they done left the whole damn live too. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Motherfuckers is always at work. You notice that Vegas, they always at work. It was like maybe, maybe, maybe. One badass. I told you I requested invite. Look, matter of fact, I'ma actually invite you myself so we can listen in. Where they at? Where they at? Let me invite this person. Come on up. Oh, you don't want to join? Oh, that's sad. That's disappointing. That's so disappointing. They don't want to join. Oh. It's so it's so disappointing when they show up and they don't want to talk because instead of doing their job that way they probably don't lose it. They want to come and talk shit but can't back it up. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? It was just like it's rare when I actually invite some of y'all up here, but sometimes I just want to listen to y'all because it allows everybody else to listen and hear how stupid you actually sound. Hey, Face Man, you can come up too and explain why you're so inadequate. No, you don't want to come up either. You don't you ain't got nothing to say. Oh, you quiet now. Oh, you hide behind your phone. Oh, it makes sense. It makes sense how a lot of Republicans do that. They hide behind their phone because it's just like, let me guess. Let me guess. You don't debate with children, but you watch them, you fucking pedophile protector? Mm, 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 mm. You don't debate children, but you watch them? That's fucking weird, guy. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. But you voted for this, so that doesn't surprise me either. It doesn't. It doesn't surprise me either. Is it weird that only Republicans want to talk about the Democrats on the list while Democrats want to castrate everybody? Is that weird? I think that's the weirder part. The funny part is that you ask Democrats, "Hey, do you want to castrate these people?" Yes, they do. Cuz the thing is if you noticed who are the ones voting and have been asking and have been pushing for the files to be released? Democrats. And Republicans voted no. So please tell me, how the hell you gonna tell me that Republicans want transparency, but they're the ones redacting the fucking files? Pam Bondi is what? Republican, right? She's not. She's not Democrat. Cash Patel, he's not Democrat. Who's redacting the list? Who's redacting the list again? Oh, Republicans. Oh, wow. So difficult to see that, right? Oh, now you ain't got nothing now you ain't got nothing to say. Now all of a sudden y'all have nothing to say. When it's Republicans that are voting no. to releasing all the files. But y'all want transparency. He said real quiet on the Western. One voted no, and it happened to be a Republican. Look at that. You want to talk about transparency, but you had a Republican still vote no. And the only reason they didn't vote no was because it was an actual roll call vote. They wanted to make it a unanimous vote so that they wouldn't have to show that they would vote against it. Oh, we got somebody up, y'all. Let's listen to this.
So you said all Republicans voted no, or you just said Republicans voted no, but it was only one vote no, right?
Did you see all the other votes for the transparency of the Epstein files, or you just want to talk about the main one that they publicized?
The main one.
Oh, so that's why, because you only want to talk about the main one. What about the previous ones?
Which one vote was no correct?
What? This wasn't the only time that they proposed a bill to make it transparent.
Which it got voted yes, correct?
After how many times?
Did it get voted yes by majority Republicans?
How many times did the Republicans change it because they didn't want the information in there to be thing and they wanted certain things to be redacted? And then it got changed. How many times did they vote no to make it come out?
What was the final vote?
Oh, no, see, that's the funny thing, because you don't want to talk about the rest of the votes that led to that vote when they asked for it to be unanimous consent. Did you forget about that part? Because they didn't want to do an actual roll call, because every time previous from that, there was multiple Republicans that voted no.
And no Democrats voted no?
No. Every Democrat has voted yes throughout this whole process.
How many Democrats were their votes?
Every single Democrat voted to release these files from the get. Republicans were the ones that wanted to make changes. And they voted to change it and changed it back. Remember that it didn't go straight through? That Massey and Ro Khanna had to change stuff because the Republican Party didn't want certain things to come out because of national security issues. And then Ro Khanna and Massey had to change it again to make sure everything came out. And then when that vote came out, they decided that they wanted it to be unanimous. When Mike Johnson didn't want people to actually have to vote for it. And then after that, when they actually did vote for it, you still had a Republican vote no.
So let's go back to your statement. Republicans voted no. That was your statement, correct?
Yes.
Because you want to go around this. All right. So let's take it back. One Republican voted no. Can we get you to say that? Not the party, but one person.
On the final vote, one Republican voted no. You notice that when a bill gets proposed, it goes to the House, then it goes to the Senate, and then once they change it, they send it back to the House, and then they vote again. Do you know how that process works? No, you don't. So you don't know how that works. So you don't know how that process works.
Republican Party did not vote no.
So you do not know how the process works.
Did the Republican Party vote no?
Do you know how the process works?
Oh, I know how the process works.
So then you mean to tell me that the Republicans did not vote no previous to that?
You were saying the party voted no, but it was just one person. I can't stand when y'all lie.
You are oh my God, you just want to be ignorant, don't you? Through the whole process, how many times did the Republicans vote no?
I don't exactly know about.
So then shut the fuck up because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Fucking dumbasses, man. It was just like they voted no. It went to the House. It was like, are you fucking stupid, bro? It's always the same fucking ones. Always the same ones. Like, yo, the process was plain as day. House vote. Senate vote. Remember when they changed it? Remember when fucking who was it? When Mike Johnson was surprised at the fact that it passed the Senate without any changes? Because when it was in the House, they voted against having everything come out. So in the Senate, the Republicans, everybody did a unanimous there, and they didn't do a roll call one. Every single Democrat wanted everything to be shown. Every single Democrat wanted everything to be shown. You notice how put it like this. I'm gonna make it even simpler. I'm gonna make this even simpler. Remember when the government was shut down? Remember how Republicans had a press conference every single day? Which one of those conferences did they ever talk about the fucking Epstein files? When did the Republican Party have a briefing or anything about the Epstein files? Wasn't it Mike Johnson that always says, "Oh, we got to get over this"? Or was that Donald Trump? Which one was it? I can't remember anymore because they were all saying the same thing. We got to move on from this. We got to move on from this. Wasn't that the Republican Party that continued to state that? So every single time something was brought up, the Republicans were like, yo, let's forget about this. We got to move on about this. It was a Democratic hoax. Donald Trump was an informant. You remember every single fucking lie, but y'all choose not to remember any of those parts. Y'all want to say only one voted, but you fail to realize that whenever a bill is proposed in the House or in the Senate, it goes through each fucking group. And then they vote on it and agree on what goes in it. And then it gets signed by law. By the president. It doesn't just fucking, oh, we propose to bring this out and it happens. No. It was just like, you remember, or better yet, you remember when they had the oversight committee. When the oversight committee, in the oversight committee, every single Democrat voted yes to have them released, and every Republican voted no also. Did you forget that part? Or is it that you just want to be selective on when your ignorance pays attention? Because it makes it sound like you have a justifiable reason to talk your nonsense when in actuality you don't. It's funny because the thing is mm, uh, Southwest, thank you for reminding me that. Remember that Mike Johnson didn't want to swear in the representative from Arizona because of the fact that she would have been the vote that would have caused the Epstein list to be released. There's nothing, you know what's crazy? There's nothing like a MAGA Republican that supports pedophiles. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. It was just like, hey, if you like his policies, cool. If you racist, you cool. But you protecting a pedophile? You can be racist for all I care. I don't give a fuck if you don't like people because of their color. But you okay with a fucking pedophile? Imagine that. I don't even give a fuck if y'all racist anymore. Cause y'all closet racist. Y'all ain't bold enough to say that shit in front of colored people. So I don't even give a fuck if y'all racist because I know y'all bitch made for that. But damn, y'all have no problem protecting a pedophile. That's crazy. That to me is crazy. I don't care if you racist anymore. I don't give a fuck. You don't like me because I'm brown? Cool. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. You a bitch anyway. I don't give a fuck. That ain't gonna change for me. But what the problem I have is that you have no problem protecting a pedophile. That's where I got a problem with you. I don't give a fuck if you racist. I don't give a fuck if you so delusional that your affordability has somehow gone down and everything has gone up. I don't care if you delusional. I don't care if you racist. But you are protecting pedophiles? We not gonna agree on anything after that. Like I said, you could dislike me because I'm brown. I'm cool with that. I'm cool. I bet you won't say it in my face. I bet you won't see it in a lot of people's faces if you by yourself. You ain't gonna go up to nobody and be like, I don't like you because you was an N-word. I bet you won't. I bet you won't fucking do that. But here you are behind the fucking closet, fucking protecting pedophiles. Fuck out of here. Straight bitch made ass people. And y'all, just in case you don't know, I am live on my YouTube channel and on Twitch. You can go in the link in the bio, follow me there, subscribe there. Better quality and less chances of me being banned because people don't like the fact that I call out pedophiles the way I fucking do. So please make sure to follow me there and you can watch me from there. It means a lot more to me if you support me through there. Like this app, TikTok, decides to filter me a lot, I guess is the best way of doing it. But yeah, I was like, no, these people are just beyond idiots. It's just like the craziest thing to me is it's the lack of ability of critical thinking that most Republicans have. Empires usually only last 250 years to 300 years. That's what people need to understand. And the thing is the breakdown of empires is because of the fact that they overthink things and they have people that fall into line or fall in control that should have never been in control in the first place. Because they push an agenda that limits them. See, already TikTok already limiting and dropping my numbers. It's okay. Like I said, follow me on my other platforms because we already know how this shit is here. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. That is basically the thing. You have this administration, you have Republicans, you have MAGA that want to continue with this thought process like this man hasn't been lying. This administration has been full of lies and they're full of hypocrisy. And that's what makes it worse. It's the hypocritical acts that this administration pulls that makes this country worse off. You can't tell me you're in favor of veterans and then you try to screw them over and try to take away some of their benefits. You can't tell me you for veterans, but here you are sending a whole group of new active duty soldiers into a war that another country is trying to scare of. You ever, y'all got younger siblings? Do y'all have younger siblings? Have y'all ever run into the issue where you had a younger sibling that got into some problems or some shit, and then you had to go fuck somebody up for them because they bit too much that they can chew? So they got their ass whooped, or they was about to get their ass whooped, and then they called you to resolve the problem. That's what the U.S. and Israel is doing right now. Israel is the little brother that wants to go and start problems with the bigger fucking kid or the bigger group, and then since they know they ain't gonna be able to do nothing, then you got to be the big older brother to come fuck shit up because they fucking shit up. But then you run into the time when sometimes you, as the big brother, you had your hands full. That's what we're dealing with right now. But then also you have this administration that wants to say and state, we are trying to make things affordable for you. And the excuse to making things affordable is removing the people that pay taxes that don't actually get anything back. Because remember, all these supposed undocumented people, if they have an ITN number, they've been paying into taxes, they've been paying into Social Security, and none of those people will receive any of that money. So the influx of money that was being made, through immigrants and their ITN number is no longer there because those people are now being deported. So now there's less money going into Social Security because of that. So that's already loss of monetary revenue from immigrants, right? Housing does not change because of immigrants. The interest rate on your loan does not change because of immigrants. The price on that house does not change because of immigrants. Whether there's more or less immigrants, have you noticed that the interest rate changed? Shit, because last I checked, even during Joe Biden, there was so many fucking immigrants. Did the houses get cheaper? Did they get more expensive? You still couldn't afford them before, so all of a sudden now you could afford them, but you can't. So which one is it? If you couldn't afford it with immigrants, you can't afford it without immigrants. You know, if you do a little math thing and you do like immigrants minus immigrants equals house, but then you you know reduce the immigrant part, and then zero equals house, and you still don't got house, the equation clearly shows that it wasn't the fucking immigrants doing anything. Last I fucking checked. That's just simple math. Or you can go and call it algebra, which for some people I know it's mind boggling, but it's just that didn't happen. Affordability hasn't happened. Cobra, appreciate you reaching level 11 in the fan club. Appreciate that. It was just like affordability hasn't happened. Wages are still the same. Wages have not gone up. Wages are still stagnant, meaning you are not getting paid anymore, yet this administration is making sure that corporations are making more money. All the stuff you pay for has not gone down. There has been no, and I mean no, affordable changes to any of these things. There just hasn't. You're not affording more. You're not getting more stuff. You don't find more stuff available. That's not happening. But this administration is telling you by having a press secretary that lies through her teeth most of the time and gets offended at shit that has nothing to do with her and responds with fucking attitude for lying and then for being called out on her lies. You have a defense secretary of defense, secretary of war. You don't even know. They don't even know what to call it because they don't know what the fuck they doing. They want to go to war, but then when we're at war and we don't want to be at war with the secretary of defense, but then when we want to act like we're the tough guy with the secretary of war, which one is it? They can't even get it straight because they're going back and forth because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You can't tell me you want to make America first, but you fighting a war for somebody else. That's not America first. You can't tell me that you make sure some other country gets universal health care while you raising the prices for care in your own country. You can't tell me that you bringing down the prices of gas but starting a war is causing them to go up and it's not your fault. You can't tell me that we don't got money, but Argentina was able to get 40 billion. Shit, we've probably already spent a couple of billion just over this weekend. And I said that earlier. We spent a couple billion probably over this weekend just doing the shit we've been doing. That's not counting. That's not counting the amount of money it's going to cost to fix all these different locations that Iran has been bombing. We haven't even calculated that. Because Kuwait has been hit, Qatar has been hit, Cyprus has been hit. All these places, we're going to have to fix them. We're not just going to leave them there. So all of that is going to be extra money that you, as a taxpayer, are going to have to invest in. Wait, where? Oh yeah, Lizette, I just found out too. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just found out. I just found out too. Don't worry about it. Don't be alarmed. Don't be alarmed. You're not the only one that just realized this. You're not the only one. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. For a lot of people, don't even know what's going on. What bridges? We don't need bridges here. We don't need bridge. We fix infrastructure here. Like what? Joe Biden put that bill out. That bill. Remember that infrastructure bill? That's gonna help put money. Oh no, I forgot. I can't mention Joe Biden because you know that's bad. We don't want to talk about Joe Biden here. Joe Biden's still asleep. We don't want to wake him up. We don't want to wake up old Joe. That would be bad. But it's just like it's funny. It's just funny seeing all these things and seeing all this stuff happening. It's just like we haven't been improving as a country right now. Everybody's talking about improving, how it's gonna get better. It's just like, but we can't show what's getting better. We can't provide anybody with what's actually doing better for us. We haven't created anything or developed anything that has made us better. We keep on spending money when the whole mantra of the Republican Party was we are going to be cost effective. We are going to save money. We're not going to spend any more money. But here we are popping off with anybody and anybody that doesn't agree with us, which costs money. So, if who's paying for this? Who's paying for this? Who's paying for all of this? Is that Southwest? It's just I forgot. Don't even start with the healthcare issue. The healthcare issue was fucking ridiculous. It was like, and don't forget the fact that they also signed something off so that mandated child reporters don't no longer are professionals. Remember that? Y'all forgot about that, huh? Y'all forgot about how this pedophile administration wants to continue pushing their rhetoric, right? Because remember, you're not professional anymore. But a lot of those professional entities are the ones that have to mandatory or mandatory to make a response or state when a kid is being abused. They have to report it by mandatory. It's mandatory for them. But those are the ones not essential. You know what I haven't seen enough of? Why don't I see more liberal women talking shit to MAGA women? I need more of that. I need more of that from y'all women. That's what I need. Because the thing is if I start saying something as a man towards MAGA women, y'all know how that's going to go for me. Y'all already know how that's going to go for me. Oh my God, he's a misogynist. Oh my God, he hates women. He doesn't want. Y'all already know how that shit is going to go for me. That's why I've stayed away from MAGA women. Because the thing is they will try to cancel me as soon as possible. What I need is liberal women to start doing what I cannot. I need y'all to call out these women. I need y'all to start talking reason to these women. Because for some reason, MAGA women are still, what you want me to say to them? You know I will. Y'all need to call them the fuck out. Y'all need to start making videos and just start calling out fucking MAGA women as a woman. Because the thing is, if I say that, I know you avoid them. Cool. Just call them out anyway. You don't got to talk to them. All you got to do is talk shit to them. Because MAGA women is the biggest problem we have. It's not even MAGA men. We already know MAGA men are weak. We know MAGA men are weak. That's already a done deal. We know that. I could take, y'all have seen how they come in here and they leave crying. I could take care of that part. I need the MAGA women to feel the same fucking pain. That's what I need. I need MAGA women to feel the same fucking pain. I need y'all to let them know they ugly. Inside and out. I need y'all to do that. I need y'all to let them know they ugly. I need y'all to let them know they need Botox. I need y'all to let them know they need fucking some sort of plastic surgery because they not happy with what God gave them. I need you to tell them and assure them that that gender affirming care that they get, they need to stop because they Republican. That's what I need y'all to make sure to do. Because if I do it, you know, I may not come out as politically nice as I should. You know what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say y'all need to make sure to let them know they ugly. Oh, just like they need to see Jigsaw's plastic surgery. Shit. They are Trump trash. But the thing is as a man, I can't do that to women. I don't feel right doing that to women. I don't give a fuck about doing it, don't get me wrong. Because a piece of shit is a piece of shit. No matter if you're man or woman. You a piece of shit. But at the same time, we need more women content creators talking like I do. Going on lives. Calling them out for being stupid. Calling them out for being ugly. I ain't gonna speak to their husband. Southwest, you know these people can't handle me. These motherfuckers be mad at me for no fucking reason. These people be reporting me for no reason because of how soft they are. I know the women probably have more fucking balls than they do. So that's why I say y'all gotta call them out for that shit. No, just like no, it was just like you are you listening to your bitch ass husband? Because that's what y'all gotta tell him. Hold on, you listen to your bitch ass husband? You got a bitch for a husband and you listen to what he got to tell you? That's crazy. That's how y'all gotta make videos and just walk off. Not even say anything. You listen to your bitch ass husband and just walk the fuck off. That's it. That's all y'all gotta do. Just make those videos. That's I'm telling y'all. That's all y'all gotta do. Y'all listen to these bitch ass MAGA husbands. Oh, we don't do that here. And then just walk the fuck off. Cause it's like, you mean to tell me you voted for like this is the crazy part for me. It was like, you're a MAGA woman, right? Let's say you're a MAGA woman. You voted for a man that assaults women. Matter of fact, you're a woman with kids. You're a MAGA woman with kids. And you voted for a dude that has been suspected and shown to have abused on kids. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all worse than the fucking pedophile MAGA men. That makes shit even fucking worse. You decided to vote for a person as a mother that abuses on kids. And then it makes sense then because then you marry the dude that protects pedophiles. Now I see why they be shooting up the schools. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I see it now. I see it now. I see it now. Because these kids don't get fucking protected at home. So they lash the fuck out and start shooting up the place. Because somebody probably made fun of them as a kid. And then they had enough. And then they went buck wild and crazy at the school. It makes fucking sense. But MAGA women is the biggest issue we have. You have women that are parents, women that are mothers, women that have dealt with this situation, that have gone through sexual assault, still voting for a man. I I don't know, y'all. I, I that one right there confuses the shit out of me. That right there confuses the shit out of me. That one I like. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to bring that across. Like, you as a MAGA woman, shit, as a woman, should understand the trials and tribulations that women go through. Yet you voted for a person that causes these trials and tribulations. Shit, I grew up in a household of females, and I was the male in the house, the only male in the house. So that's why this bothers me even more. I'm a father to three girls. That bothers me even more. The fact that there's some women that wouldn't protect other women. And it was just like, I remember when they were doing the whole big thing was just like, when the women would be like, oh, would you pick the man or the bear? And it was just like, either one you picked, you would still have to worry about that woman because she might just side with the man or the bear. Now, think about that part. Because, no, I do not, Lizette, but I think I have an idea. I think I have an idea. Patriarch? Bruh. You know what I was going to say? Because they popped them in the oven. That's probably why they gave it that name. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just like that's the crazy part about it. It was just like, keep in mind, y'all, it was Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, not just Jeffrey Epstein. It was Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. So without having the women pushing this rhetoric and not having women getting angry also, that is an issue. Because don't worry, there's gonna be men that fight for y'all. Y'all don't gotta worry about that. But the thing is we can't just, you know what I'm saying? That's the scariest. That's the scarier part about it. I was just like, I know some men cannot be trusted, but then the fact knowing that some mothers can't be trusted is a scarier fucking thought. That to me is a scarier fucking thought. That to me is a more aggravating thought. So yeah, that's what I say. Gotta like I said, we don't have to interact with these people. I was just like sometimes they come in here, I talk shit to them, I talk shit to them. But most of the time, it's like the stupidity that a lot of MAGA has and Republicans have. Because some Republicans know, because some Republicans did vote Democrat, even though they see themselves as yeah. And that, but that's the thing. It's the fact that you have to think on all these things and know what's going on because there's a bunch of things going on. There's a bunch of things that have happened. There's a bunch of things that have been said. There's a bunch of things that we've seen. And we've gone through this process and we see this process. It's not like a. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that we just have to make sure we're calling them out, talking on them, but you got to push it to these people. Yes, and that's the same. That's the thing. Also, in that list, there are in that list there are people. There are people on that list, and there are women on that list also. Because, like I said, it wasn't only. It's not only the males. It's also women we got to watch out for. Those are the ones we got to pay attention to. It's not only a one-sided thing. There's multiple people doing these things. People all over the world. There's different stuff happening, and it's just like it has to be paid attention to because it's coming from everywhere. But the thing is if we're not calling it out and making sure people feel the instances of it, that's the thing. We have to make sure that people are realizing these things are going. We have to make it sure that these people understand. These MAGA women, some of them may be in relationships right now that are being abused, and that's why they don't speak out on this stuff. Thing is we have to hold these figures and these people accountable so that that way we can make sure that if it happens again, people feel safe to speak on it. And that is the biggest thing. We have to make sure that the people that are going through these situations feel safe enough that when they do report it, when they do make statements, when they do come out, that they are protected fully. Because right now, what we are showing in this country is that if you are a sexual assault victim, whether male or female, you will not be believed, you will not be recognized, you will not be heard. And that is not what this country should be about. It's never what this country should be. So that's something that we need to continue to push. And whether it's calling them pedophiles or whatever, and if you have something else, just like, look, my response to anybody is like, go suck a pedophile's dick. Go suck a pedophile's dick. You protecting them, might as well suck them off while you at it, because you part of the same fucking group. So might as well tell them the same shit. See, little bear, the same way that you can say that our culture enabled Epstein is the same way that we can disable Epstein. Culture isn't forever. Culture changes over time. Culture changes when the people that make change and want change it. You didn't inherit everything from your family growing up. There were some cultural things you agreed with, and there were some cultural things you didn't agree with. And that's on us to make sure that the culture doesn't continue. It's on us to make sure that the culture gets better. It's on us to make sure that that culture gets castrated for doing these things to kids. That's how we change the culture. That's how we change the situation. When we start catching these pedophiles, we make sure they don't forget that what they did, they will never do again. That's the culture we need to provide going forward. And that's the thing with the women in this administration. Some of them grew up and went through that whole pipeline, like I said, of Donald Trump. They were in the beauty pageants. They ended up working for him somehow, some way. Some of them have Stockholm syndrome. Some of them have been put in a way where they feel that this is the person that they have to rely on. This is the person they look up to because that's the person that got them to where they got. So they owe them everything. They're part of the culture. They believe in the culture because they grew through the culture, but they didn't realize that what they were going through was wrong. Jasmine Crockett is going to fall off the face of the planet, bro. I'm sorry to say. Jasmine Crockett is going to fall off the face of the planet. Jasmine Crockett is not going to be a viable candidate going forward. She's not. I'm sorry, she's not. She's not going to be a viable. Look, I'm going to put it like this. This is where I say this. You had Kamala Harris, basically the same resume. Kamala Harris had the same fucking resume. Same resume basically as Jasmine Crockett. The only difference, Jasmine Crockett talks like I do. She brings receipts and she talks shit. Frail white men are not going to let her get in power. The same ones that said Kamala Harris was ghetto are not going to let a person that actually talks back and talk shit come in power. Unless, like I said, MAGA women decide to make a change. That's why I said her running for Senate was just like, you shouldn't have done that. You should have let Tallarico win this one and then try to say you going for 2028. Start campaigning for 2028. But her doing this and going against the thing, it was just like, and you were in the state of Texas. The state of Texas is racist as fuck. And you wanted to go up in a state that was known to be racist and you called them out for the pieces of shit that they are and you thought you was going to gain traction? Nah, man. That's like me here. You thought I was she was relying, yeah, that's the problem. She was relying on just a neighborhood. You don't win political parties or political races just by neighborhoods. You have to win the state. You have to win the state. And the state doesn't support her. The state can't stand her because of the way she talks and calls them out. So that was a done deal knowing she wasn't going to win that. Great person that should run. She's on the side of Israel, which I'm not a fan of. But you can't run in a racist ass state. That's like me running in Kansas. Me as a brown guy, even though I'm an American veteran. Me running in a racist state, calling out Republicans for the hypocrisy the way I do. You think I would win? Fuck no. That'd be just a waste of my time because there ain't no way these people gonna believe it was just like, oh, Cruz? Yeah, we know Cruz. Fuck that guy. He's brown. He's a Democrat. No, he's gonna make things. He's probably gonna be the next Zoran Mamdani. Y'all seen how that went. I'm just sorry. It's just being honest with people. I'm just like Jasmine Crockett was not gonna win, and then you had people that instead of actually having an intellectual thought about it, just thought that people were just being racist. That's part of the problem too. People didn't logistically think about it. People just didn't logistically think about it. I'm sorry to say. It's the fabric of Texas, and Jasmine Crockett was not going to win no matter what. She wasn't going to win no matter what. It was just like, look at how Republicans all across the country. The thing is, Vegas, the thing about her seat in the House with the redistricting of Texas, she loses that seat. That's why she probably made that push to go for Senate. Because with the redistricting of Texas, she doesn't have that seat because it got restructured. So her seat is no longer the seat that she's going to be in. So that's why I say she's going to probably fall out the limelight again unless she moves somewhere else. Because the thing is these Republicans don't want somebody that talks like that. She had to fight someone else in the district or a senator, and they redistrict those districts on purpose for that reason. That's why they gerrymandered it to make sure that even if she went against whoever was in that representation, it was a Republican thing. For her to get into politics, she's gonna have to run in probably that Democratic spot in Texas, or she's gonna have to run in a place that she can do it. Yes, the seat was known for Republicans to win, and she just happened to win it. But the thing is she rubs people the wrong way because of the fact she calls them out. She's way too fucking educated, but she speaks her mind. Kamala Harris was the same thing, but Kamala Harris was the soft spoken, I don't want to fight nobody type. Jasmine Crockett's the I'll fight the shit out you type. They didn't want Tallarico's not gonna win either. Texas is gonna be Republican. That's gonna stay Republican. That's not gonna change. They don't like her delivery. They don't like the statement. The same way they don't like the way I talk sometimes. And look, I don't say anything. I do say some wild shit sometimes. Don't get me wrong. But that's when they piss me off. But otherwise, it's factual. I make you look stupid, and that's what she does. She makes a lot of those Republicans look stupid as fuck. Stupid as fuck. It was just like you have to remember it's the outlook in this country. In this country, change can only happen when you have enough people making the change. It was like you have to have the state has to be on that border of shit. We might go left. We in the middle right now. But if your state is strictly red, you should have already known that. I was like, they gerrymandered the state. Did y'all really think they were going to let a Democrat win? They weren't going to let a Democrat win. Tallarico isn't going to win either. Because the thing is Tallarico is just like, yeah, but it says Democrat in front of it. And what does Texas have? Republicans. It's been a Republican state for who knows how long. They've been getting screwed over by Republicans and lied to by Republicans this whole time, and they still vote that way. You're not going to change that. Unless there's an influx and change across the state, you're not going to change that. You got to remember, most of these ranch fucking land owning fucking people are Republican. They're not changing that. They're not changing that for a ghetto black woman. They're not gonna do that. Oh, just like that's why people were just upset at the fact that it was just like, oh, Jasmine Crockett's gonna win. She's gonna no the fuck she wasn't. The reason y'all didn't hear me talk about it so much was because I know people are gonna be like, oh, you're just racist. Like, bro, I'm black. The fuck? The fuck you mean? I'm from the Dominican Republic, but I know I'm black. What the fuck you mean I'm racist? It was just like, oh, it's because you don't like black people that you say that. I was just like, no. The thing is that when you actually get a degree and a master's degree in public administration and you understand how policies work and you see how politics work and you see how past voting works and then paying attention to everything as a whole and not just nitpicking certain instances that sound good, you understand that she wasn't going to win. It was just like they gerrymandered the state. They gerrymandered the state for a reason. It wasn't to fucking get just 5 seats. No, you really think that people you think the problem is that people think that when these people take an action, it's just one action that they trying to do. That's the problem with people. That's what people need to realize with politics and administration doesn't work that way. If you are taking one step, that step is going to cause a ripple effect one way or another. You made it so that voting was going to be difficult because Donald Trump said, I need 5 seats. And they were like, okay, this is going to work. And then they also thought about it. If we get these extra 5 seats by redistricting, we also get rid of Jasmine. That's a win win. We don't have to hear her in Congress anymore. And now we don't have to worry about all her questioning and all her back talk because she doesn't fit our narrative of lying to the American people. She wants to call the hypocrites out, but that's it. James Tallarico, he wasn't in the Congress. He was in the state Congress. What's up, Love Cat? And that's the thing. That's why I was just like I stayed away from that conversation for a reason. Because I know people were not gonna see the light. People were gonna say, oh my God, you just don't like Jasmine Crockett and this, and that, and all this other stuff. That's why I stayed away from that conversation because nothing fruitful was gonna come out of it. The same way talking to MAGA, nothing fruitful comes out of it when you try to talk to them. Nothing fruitful was going to come out of trying to argue with somebody about Jasmine Crockett being qualified. Everybody knows she's qualified. Everybody knew Kamala Harris was qualified. Look how that went. They weren't sure she was Indian or black like it mattered. It's like people need to see everything from a bigger perspective. And it was just like gerrymandering Texas wasn't only to get 5 more seats, but it was also to remove seats. Because you got to remember, gaining 5 seats that are Republican means you're losing 5 Democratic seats. Nobody paid attention to who those 5 seats were. But being in a racist ass state, chances are you're not going to win as a person of color to win. We got lucky with Obama. And that's because we were tired of the other guy. Another well-educated black man, but that man stood, that man was funny, and when that man spoke, everybody listened. Kamala Harris, they didn't have that. She didn't have that. Kamala Harris didn't have that. She didn't have that dominating speech that Obama had. Neither does Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett has a dominating thing, but it's to dominate whoever she's going up against. Not in a dominating that I gain your respect when I open my mouth. It's like you gonna respect me when I open my mouth type thing. That's what she has. And Republicans don't like respecting anybody. They like to disrespect, but they can't take when they get disrespected back. And Jasmine Crockett was one that loves to disrespect the fuck out of these people, which I enjoyed heavily. But these people's too soft for that shit. I was just like, Democrats are having issues because the thing is they don't know how to put themselves. Democrats don't know how to put their egos aside because they want to be successful. That's what it is. Democrats want to get the limelight. Jasmine Crockett wanted to get the limelight. Because what Jasmine Crockett could have done was Jasmine Crockett could have been fighting for James Tallarico. And then in 2028, when the other seat was open, Jasmine Crockett could have been running for that. So that way she could have been helping Tallarico, a Democrat, win one side and then have him help her work with her to get the other seat instead of just fighting and dividing it. But that's the and Suzanne, that's exactly why I said that Jasmine Crockett wasn't going to win. These white frail men do not want a dominant woman. It was just like, and then you have some black men that feel the same way. It was just like some of y'all grew up in a fucking single mother household, but y'all don't believe black women can take care of the shit. Now make that make sense. Like, how the fuck does that make sense? And y'all voted for Donald Trump as a black man instead of voting for a black woman. So what makes you think Jasmine Crockett was gonna win if Kamala Harris couldn't even get the support of the people that were supposed to support her? It's the truth. It's the plain out truth. There's too many people that grow up in single parent households. More than any, it's a single woman household. So if that woman was able to take care of you, raise you on her own, you mean to tell me that a woman wouldn't be able to run this country even though she was vice president, she was district attorney, she graduated, did all this shit? Like, come on now. Suzanne, the thing is that some people are fragile. A lot of men are fragile. I grew up in a household that was just women. I was the only male. I learned how to be a protector. I learned how to be the the muscle. I learned how to care for women because I grew up in a house with women. So I know that women can accomplish anything they fucking want to. But most men don't see it that way because they grow up in the institution of thinking it the other way. See, look like this guy, trucker. Bet you he can't even wash his own fucking laundry because his wife does it for him. Probably has to get new fucking underwear that his wife gets him because he don't know what the fuck to buy. You probably sitting in some shitty ass drawers right now. It's not about a white supremacy thing. It is the fact that even her own people weren't voting for her. Wayne, that's as simple as it is. Her own people weren't voting for her. Look at how it looked for fucking Kamala Harris. Her own people weren't voting for her. Some of it is white supremacy, yes. Not all of it. Some of it is white supremacy, not all of it. Because when your own people don't believe in you, and then you got to go against the white supremacists, you ain't going to win. It don't matter if technology was manipulated or not. Kamala Harris showed you this. You still see the fucking segments. You still see the segments and you still see the votes. Manipulated or not, you saw the overwhelming people. See, there you go. 7 million blacks and 10 million Latinos voted for Trump. That's 17 million people. That had nothing to do with white supremacy. There, it was just like, yeah, the problem, what people don't understand is that you already knew what the white supremacist was gonna vote. There was no surprise there. It wasn't like, oh shit, oh, wow, well, this was a turnout we weren't expecting. You know what they were gonna vote. It's those that weren't white supremacists that mattered in that vote. And a lot of them voted against their own people. A lot of minorities voted against Kamala Harris. The same way a lot of minorities voted against Jasmine Crockett. That wasn't going to change. Because the thing is you're trying to influence the white supremacists to change their mind when you need to be talking to the people that are like you. That's it. You knew how the white supremacist was going to vote. But here you are trying to reach. That's like me trying to talk to MAGA. You've seen how well that fucking works. Hey, MAGA, look, you're being lied to. No, man, you just fucking delusional. You got Trump derangement syndrome. Why the fuck would I bother to talk to them? I got to talk to the minorities that can vote, that can make a change, that they can run for office. That's who you need to be willing to talk to. That's who you need to fucking explain this. Yeah, Jasmine is pro Israel, which, like I said, I'm not a fan of that. But at the same time, fragile people don't want that. Explain it. You knew how white supremacists was going to vote. You already knew that. Nobody in here is going to tell me they didn't know that white supremacists was going to vote for Donald Trump. These people didn't want to vote for a black person. These people believed in what the Republican white supremacists were telling them. Because you know why? They didn't have enough people of our complexion telling them otherwise. You didn't have enough people of our complexion explaining to them, giving them that information, educating them on the process, on the things that were happening, on how the Democrats do these things to try to benefit you while the Republicans try to take away those same programs. You know why everyone waited? Because the thing is why did Joe Biden wait? I don't give a fuck about who supported him. Why did Joe Biden wait? Joe Biden has had cancer for way longer than he said. He could have ran out the race and not given her 4 months to fucking do it. That was Joe Biden's fault. All the fucking blame people want to give, that's the one I give Joe Biden the blame. He could have ran out and dropped out earlier since he knew he had cancer and supported Kamala and had her campaigning for a longer time period. It don't matter who supported. It was just like, what does it matter when Obama and when AOC decided to support Kamala Harris if the same white people in the fucking Democratic Party didn't even want to support her? The people that were supposed to support her, the people that were in Congress didn't support her. It didn't fucking matter if Barack Obama, AOC, nobody likes AOC because she's ghetto, remember? The same as Jasmine Crockett, ghetto. She talks too loud. She's very uneducated. You know the same type that they don't like, the ones women that are actually strong enough and independent enough to talk on for them. Yes, Kamala got set up for failure. Yes. Kamala got set up for failure by Joe Biden. Nobody, that's a blame that nobody wants to talk about and nobody has talked about. I've said that plenty of times. He gave her 4 months when he could have gave her a whole year of campaigning. She had to go and try to reach out to these states when Donald Trump had been bullshitting people for the past year and a half. But look, Suzanne, Joe Biden knew he had cancer for a long ass fucking time. Ain't nobody gonna tell me otherwise. When that man started fucking disappear, he wasn't showing up as much. Remember when the Republican Party thought he was dead? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that when Joe Biden died? Nobody told them about him. They were wondering where he was at. He was probably getting fucking cancer treatment. It was like he knew he wasn't doing well. You know why Bernie Sanders didn't help with Kamala Harris? Because Bernie Sanders should have been the fucking president. And then they decided to say Hillary Clinton took over. Because the Democratic Party is a fucking party that doesn't fucking believe in itself. It believes in oneself. Whoever benefits the most. Because Bernie Sanders, remember when he won the nomination and then all of a sudden, oh, well, Hillary Clinton is going to be nominated. Bitch, what? Yeah, nobody ever thought about the fact he knew that man. Look, put it like this, Suzanne. You, the president of the United States, you have the best health care in the world. You will see anybody and everybody. You knew. The problem is that every single thing that Bernie Sanders has proposed would have made your life 10 times better already if he would have been president. Because you want to use that word socialist, you've never gotten anywhere. Because you want to use the word socialist, you haven't gotten anywhere. Because what you could have just said was Bernie Sanders was a candidate that was working to help the American people by giving them benefits that they deserve. That's what it is. There's nothing there's nothing socialist about that. Making sure everybody has health care. There's nothing socialist about that. You pay the most fucking taxes. You're the superpower of the fucking world. You shouldn't have to worry about your health. Appreciate the heart, me, Gigi. If people would have listened to Bernie Sanders and the Democratic Party didn't want to think that they would have had a better chance with a person that they thought would have won instead of choosing the person that the American people chose, we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? You wouldn't be saying all the shit you talking about Bernie Sanders, you wouldn't be saying if you would have had universal health care right now. You wouldn't even thought of having that. You wouldn't even thought. You thought Hillary Clinton was going to provide universal health care, but she couldn't even do that in the state of fucking in her own state. See, that's where it's just like it's crazy that you would say that Bernie Sanders destroyed the Democratic Party. No, the people that want to put Israel first before the United States destroyed the Democratic Party. It was just like the fact that you have the ill-conceived thought that you're gonna say that Bernie Sanders is at fault for wanting best for the American people and investing in the American people and putting everything that the American people should have first is the problem. Because you wanted to put somebody that had shown a track record that didn't do that. You wanted to vote somebody that didn't have a track record of doing any of these things. You have a track record of somebody that didn't propose anything. Because remember, Hillary Clinton voted for this shit. Bernie Sanders would have had universal health care. He wouldn't have allowed billionaires to continue to get their fucking tax cuts. It was just like women can be sick of men in politics all they want, but you can't even get women to vote on your same fucking party line. So what the fuck are you saying? It's like what? Like what is this person on right now? Like seriously, what are you on? What are you on? You look, see, that's the problem. It's just like Grace seems to be like a bot because she's typing hella fucking fast. First off, second off, you're blaming Bernie Sanders when Bernie Sanders has been pushing his same fucking platform since the beginning of fucking time. It was just like the fact. No, you know what it is. It was like the thing is like this is the thing. The problem is that you're one of those people that doesn't want to talk about. I don't know, Vegas. I don't know. It was just like that. That's the problem. It was just like you know what it is. It's that thought process that certain people have that they don't want everyone to have a benefit. They want themselves to have a benefit, and that's what I'm getting off of you, Grace. You don't want everybody else to succeed, and you don't want everybody else to get those benefits. You wanted to make sure that you had a white woman in there to do that. Oh, that's why you're European. Makes sense. It makes sense now. Now I fully understand. Now I fully understand why have the rhetoric and why have that anger towards Bernie Sanders. Trucker, why don't you go drive some shit? Fuck are you doing here? Need a need a work for that benefit. Then why are you mad that immigrants is doing a better job at working the fucking roads for you that you had to make laws to change it? Stop being a bitch and do your fucking job. Be better at it. That's it. Bernie Sanders didn't fuck anything up. If you're not from this country, you wouldn't know that because you didn't pay attention to it. You want to say that Bernie destroyed the stuff, but you came from a place that had fucking healthcare where you can just go and get healthcare. Because I lived in Germany for 4 years and you can go and get healthcare and you didn't have to worry about paying for it because it was already paid through your taxes. The same thing that Bernie has been proposing for fucking decades. Bernie has been proposing to have fucking taxes pay for all this stuff because we already pay taxes, but we don't know where our taxes go to. Our taxes go to funding Israel to have all the shit we don't have. Our taxes go to fucking funding wars that we don't want a part of. Bernie Sanders wasn't gonna do that. Bernie Sanders was actually one of those that was out there fucking walking with fucking Martin Luther King. You didn't hear that about anybody else, did you? You didn't hear about anybody else say that. You telling me to go to work, bro? You need a job. I know that's how you sound like too. It was just like it's a fucking bot because it fucking type. Ain't nobody typing that fast. I don't even give a fuck if you got speech to text. You ain't fucking talking that fast. It was just like that's the plain simplicity of it. You don't like Bernie Sanders because they give actual benefits to everybody. That's the thing. Appreciate the rose, right? It was like that's what most people do. It was just like nah. It was just like you have your whole white supremacy. You have your whole white inadequate ideology that doesn't do anything. The thing is you want to say people need to work for what they get, but the funny part is these people outwork you and do get better, but you still stay mad. These people are still outworking you. These people are still out driving you, still outworking you. And then the fact that they do better with their money than you do, you still get mad. Plain and simple. Cause look at it, put the easiest way I could show it. If you join the military, you got paid at the same fucking rate. How come everybody don't own a house? How come everybody can't not work? How come everybody can't afford multiple cars? Did the same fucking thing, but you were still too stuck on stupid because you didn't educate yourself to actually better yourself. Plain and simple. It was just like, how is it that you and this immigrant work the same job, but that immigrant is doing better than you? Maybe they actually do better with money. Maybe they know how to operate better with money. Maybe they don't spend it on dumb shit. You ever thought of that? Because if you get paid the same fucking wage and the wage don't change, but somehow they bought a house, maybe it was because their priority was to buy a house instead of wasting money on fucking dumb shit. But you never think about it like that. You want to say that they are cheating the system or they taking benefits. It was just like, bro, you can get the same fucking shit. If it's there, it was made for you to use. And if it's there and you're white and racist, it was made for you. Because remember, minorities were never able to receive all these benefits till after the 60s. So anything that was created for white people. Those same inadequate ones that want to complain and bitch that they don't have anything and are mad at handouts. Because remember, service members went to war and they came back and they couldn't use the VA loan because they were colored. Fought the same war. Same thing. And then they had to fight a way around to getting it done. And what did they end up with? They still ended up with houses. Iran has. You know what's funny about that? Now I know you're a bot. Couldn't use the GI Bill, couldn't get the VA loan. Shit, all that shit happened, but y'all were complaining. But then when you had leadership that wanted to make the change to actually benefit everybody, you don't want that because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it, right? But we could afford bombing the shit out of somewhere. That we ain't got no problem affording. We can't afford to take care of our veterans like me because, I make supposedly too much money. But we can afford to get more veterans that need the fucking health care because we going to bomb the shit out of somewhere else and send them somewhere else, right? Yeah, we got the money. We can't tax the rich because, then the shit'll fall apart. What's up, Emma? Which is crazy to me that everybody says that. You know that if you tax the rich, the system will fall apart, even though we pay all the taxes? Because somebody explained to me how these motherfuckers don't pay any taxes. So how would the system fall apart if they don't pay taxes in the first place? What system? We pay all the taxes. If you mean to tell me Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and all these people don't pay taxes, how is the system gonna fuck up if they're not paying taxes, but we paying all the taxes? Republicans can never answer that. Republicans never have any mind to that. Shit, did you not hear about what Bernie Sanders just proposed? A wealth tax on the richest of the richest to basically that would help pay for so much things in this country. Oh, but we don't got the money for that, right? We can't tax them. It's crazy. We about to have a trillionaire. Trillionaire with a T, not billion. Trillionaire. You mean to tell me that man don't got enough money to pay and fix this country by himself? And we ain't even asking him to do it by himself. We asking all the other rich fucks that make money off of us to pay for it. And they would still be able to do whatever the fuck they want with the money they have. Cobra, you don't say those things out loud. Cobra can't say that out loud. Can't say. Gotta keep that quiet. We can't be talking about immigrants coming over here and then us as the United States making him a trillionaire. We can't talk about that. Because the same way we can't talk about, Israel and giving them free health care and, free schooling as immigrants. Because the ones we have here that work are the problem. Those are the bad ones. But if you're from another country and an immigrant, you're a winner if you're an immigrant from outside the country. But if you're working in the country, well, we don't like that here. We don't like you actually working as an immigrant in the United States. We like giving you the money from the hardworking people in the United States to give it to immigrants. Case in point, Israel. Case in point, Argentina. Case in point, every other fucking country we supply with fucking weapons. If you're here, that's a bad idea. If you move though, yo, you might be living the life. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to, it's a possibility. If you want to watch the news, pay attention to Al Jazeera. They have their TikTok channel, they have a YouTube channel, same as I do. Pay attention to Al Jazeera. They're actually fucking reporting the news and they don't have no bias. Al Jazeera is actually it's going to be exhausting. I'll tell you that much because these people actually report the fucking news. Al Jazeera will report the actual fucking news and you will see what's happening. They will show you the footage that they have. Not the fucking doctored shit, not the shit that you just seen from the Defense Department where they show us just bombing different shit in Iran, but then they don't want to talk about the school they fucking bombed. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that should just tick me off. That ticked me off. So I'm going to cut out now because that whole situation that is really that really grinds my fucking gears. So as always, be good to one another, take care of one another, look out for one another, love one another, stay marvelous while doing it, y'all. I'm just Cruz. This has been our morning chit chat. I don't know if I'll be on later tonight. If not, please remember, make sure y'all follow me on my other platforms on YouTube and on Twitch. It could just be the YouTube ones is fine. Twitch is mostly gaming, but please make sure to follow me on there so that way I can have those grow because this app is not going to fucking it's not gonna last the way people are being censored. So I'd rather be on other platforms also. I'll still be on here, but I would appreciate being followed on the other platform so I could get support there, because that I can actually make some money off of, and y'all don't have to donate, y'all don't have to give any gifts. Just your views can give me some ad revenue, maybe some ads in between, but I can make some revenue off of it that way instead of y'all having to actually give me money here. Let them pay me. You see what I'm saying? Let them pay me, not y'all pay me. Y'all keep y'all hard-earned money. Let them pay me. All right. So y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Have a good rest of the week. If I'll see y'all probably tomorrow or the day after or something. We'll see. But appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all evening. Peace. All right, y'all.